Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Everyone feeling all right? All right, I'm here to discuss something relatively simple with you all. I'm here to discuss what I consider wealth. Wealth to me is loving what you do. When you love what you do, you gain from it in two ways: by doing it and for doing it. Let's talk about that. By doing it. Practicing something you love, therefore getting better at something you enjoy. Art, music, and others can help you understand how you feel and express ideas that are sometimes not so very simple. And you can bring yourself back from a bad mood and put yourself in a relaxed and positive mood. Now let's talk about for doing it. Opportunities arrive when you put yourself out there. Do what you love doing well, you will be recognized for it and you will be able to reach more people. And of course, you can earn a good living doing something you love. Let me break it down for you in an even simpler way. A, it nourishes your soul. B, while helping you make a living. Very simple. Although it is not so black and white, it seems that way in this room, but in the real world, the hard and fast world, music is my blanket heaven sent. It is my paper and my pen. It is my pet and my best friend. And you see, when all of you leave and when everything changes, my sticks and my kit, my strings and my pick, my voice in the next song that shall make its way out of me, shall on its way out nourish my soul. What I love most about speaking to a 5-year-old is how unconcerned they are with their surroundings. They want to scream, they scream. They want to pull auntie's sari, they pull. Ask that 5-year-old what he or she would want to be, and the answer comes gushing out. I want to be Beyonce. Something very sad happens when we get older. Why is it that we lower our standards? Ask someone who's picking a college what he or she would like to do. If they could do anything, they would make the most realistic thing seem impossible. I think this has something to do with, oh my God, I've forgotten the word. I think it has something to do with the people you were raised around and the people who raised you. Social conditioning, that's what I was talking about. All right, so the notions of economic wealth grow stronger as we become more aware of them. That is such a smart sounding statement. What that means is that just when you need to take a leap of faith, you are now more affected by the economic norms and social pressures than ever before. It is at a time like this, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to remember what you love doing, whether or not it should become a part of your life. Or be my guest, fit, study hard, so you can get a good degree, so you can get a well-paid job. Or as I understood it, give up, conform, and die. All right. I need a chit, you see, I can't do. So, the people around you may seem unsupportive when you're out to do something different. Don't take it personally. They do not understand what you're yearning for. I remember the horrified looks on people's faces when my mother would say, he's going to music school. He's going to be a musician. They would try to hold their smiles up together and ask, but what is he going to do? You do know the financial difficulties. Oh, he wants to get into Bollywood. Or, of course, my favorite, let's get him married. Hats off to my family for withstanding that pressure and always believing me. Believing in me. Thank you. All right. So, let me backtrack here a little. I will start by saying that I was a horrible student. All right? So, my early school life felt as though stuff was on autopilot. A combination of schools, tuition classes, and others made me feel a little stuck. Furthermore, the traditional educational system just made me feel a little, ugh. My parents realized that something was amiss, and that educational system was changed. I was put into a system that allowed for free thinking. This was a huge step for me. This meant that I could comprehend things in my own way. This gave me an opportunity to really relearn how to assimilate the information that I was receiving. In fact, this was one of my most important turning points. Free thinking not only meant that I could look at things differently, it meant that I could comprehend things in my own way. Along with this idea of free thinking, I understood something rather important about myself. I could not conform. I had to find a different way of doing everything, whether it was learning things, communicating, understanding things, or enjoying life. When you decide to go not so with the rules, you're going to have to challenge the nature of the way that things work. In making such a challenge, you will face resistance in the form of doubts, fears, and the opinions of other people. It is only when you can stand over those doubts and do it anyway that you can embark upon a journey such as the one that I am on today. We must stop telling ourselves that it is impossible. Only then can we move towards doing it. We must stop procrastinating. Only then can we get to work. About 90% people will not make it past these first two stages. All right. Now, you're doing the thing you love. Forget everything around you, right? You're there. Stay in that creative process. Write that masterpiece. Paint that beautiful painting. Stay in the creative process. Remember, you're doing this because you love it. Bring yourself back in a place where you can enjoy it. 2 hours later, when you get up from that zone, it won't matter whether you completed the painting or just wrote a few lines. What you have ultimately done is you've sharpened your creativity, you have furthered your narrative, and you are continuing exploring the never-ending process that is expression. It was in this wonderful place of free thinking, this beautiful institute that I was at, where I had my first interactions with music. 4 or 5 of my friends all knew an instrument or two. They would shove themselves into the science lab and play a few songs that they knew. In hindsight, it was kind of cute and sounded terrible. Test tubes rattled, ladies and gentlemen, to the sound of distorted guitar. I'm still trying to assimilate the stuff that was going on around me when I noticed the drum kit. Its magnificence, the powerful sound it created, and the many parts it had. I instantly knew that I had to try it. I went home that day and I told my dad, I want to learn how to play the drums. My advocate father lowered his glasses and looked at me in horror. To make matters worse, I said I wanted a kit. So, all jokes apart, this instrument has really changed my life. The first few classes I took with drums were really funny. I walk into the class, the teacher shows me a beat. I picked it up instantly. He showed me 2 more. In about 5-10 minutes, I had those too. He said I should practice these and left the room. There I was, ladies and gentlemen. Empty soundproof room, sticks in my hand, kit in front of me. This new system of free thinking still like going on in my head. I lay into that kit with everything I had, man. And for a second, simple patterns just arrived to me. A trial and error system was in play. Every minute that I spent in that room, I got more obsessed with this instrument and what could be done with it. After school, I ended up going to a gorgeous music school, 1,000-acre campus in the middle of nowhere. Teachers, students, no distractions. It was there that I would, apart from the time in class, study the drums, study the movement of the body, understand rhythms from different parts of the world. After music school, I ended up going to Mumbai to pursue life as a musician. Without even realizing it, I was living my dream, creating sounds, practicing, meeting people, getting up on huge stages, and playing music. It was fantastic. Let's get back to the idea that when you love what you do, you gain from it in two ways, by doing it and for doing it. Let's talk about the by doing it again. Practicing something you love and getting better at something you enjoy. For me, this would be music school. Time spent in music school was pure bliss. It helped me get better at something I enjoy and really solidified what I wanted to do and where I wanted to take it. Next point, art, music, and others can help you express your opinions and understand rather some tough issues that you might not be able to express otherwise. Let's talk about that. Music and songwriting for me has been one of the most useful tools. It has helped me understand not only myself, it helped me come to terms with things like free thinking, the inability to conform, and I feel in a way it was the driving factor to me picking a career like music in the first place. In my one-dimensional need to want to pursue the career I had convinced myself that I don't need anything that I cannot reach at the moment financially. The fact that I could pursue music was all I needed to get me through the day. This belief got me through a few rather tough times struggling as a musician, and I feel also is the reason I've made it this far today. Now let's talk about for doing it. Opportunities arrive when you put yourself out there. Do what you love well, you will be recognized for it, you will be able to reach more people with your message. Get paid to do what you love. Well, I'm so very glad that I can live and breathe music. It has molded me, taught me life's finest lessons, and taken me everywhere I need to go. It's really funny, sometimes I think about how things have happened and fallen into place. If you believe in your journey and you love what you do, anything is possible. Oh my God, I've forgotten my conclusion. Lastly, I want to say, a few months ago, I opened a music school in Mumbai. 30 students, 3 teachers, small start. The fulfillment that music has brought to my life is unparalleled. I love it, I need it, I gave it everything, and it gave it all back. Find what you love doing. Find things that nourish your soul. Love what you do, for that is true wealth. Thank you.